Giovanni's Charisma to remove one of their energies. Then we're going to use Tricky Steps to deal 160 damage to their Charizard EX. We're going to put that onto their Mana Fee. This video is sponsored by PTCGLstore.com, a great place for you to buy Pokemon TCG code cards. Please remember to use my code KNIGHT22 at checkout so that you can get a 5% discount. Before going to the video, please take a second to click that like button. And we're on the road to reaching 10,000 subscribers, so please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for all of your support, and I hope you enjoy the contents I put out in this channel. Hey guys, so for today, we'll be showcasing Gengar EX from the Temporal Forces expansion set. Gengar EX is a stage 2 Pokemon with the ability Knowing Curse. Each time your opponent attaches an energy from their hand to their Pokemon, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. And since this ability can stack, technically, if you set up 4 of these in play, your opponent's Pokemon will receive 8 damage counters each time they attach an energy from their hand to their Pokemon. Its attack is also really disruptive for 2 dark energies. Tricky Steps deals 160 damage, and you may move 1 energy from your opponent's active Pokemon to one of their benched Pokemon. By removing an energy from their active with this attack, it may just force your opponent to attach another energy. And that also means inflicting more damage counters from Gengar's ability. And in some cases, you can even prevent your opponent from attacking when you deprive them from the necessary energy they need to attack. This is why I think having Giovanni's Charisma is great in this build. This allows you to remove 1 energy card from your opponent's active Pokemon and put it in their hand. And when you do this, you can also accelerate 1 energy from your hand to your own active Pokemon, so this doubles as an energy disruption and an energy accelerator. And we also have the Pokemon League Headquarters Stadium. This increases all basic Pokemon's attacks by 1 more colorless energy. This is really great since there's a lot of new future and ancient Pokemon builds in the Temporal Forces set that uses primarily all basic Pokemon in their build. At least with this, your opponent will need to attach 1 extra energy to attack, and that will also force them to take more damage counters inflicted by Gengar EX's ability. And powering up Gengar EX's attack is actually pretty easy. First of all, we have the new A-Spec card, Neo Upper Energy. You can only have 1 A-Spec card in your deck, but this is great because this counts as 2 energies of every kind when it is attached to a stage 2 Pokemon. Although to other Pokemon, it only counts as 1 colorless energy. But since Gengar EX is a stage 2, we can fully energize its attack for a single attachment. Another way to energize our Pokemon is with the Dark Patch. This allows you to accelerate 1 basic dark energy to one of your dark type Pokemon on your bench. In this deck, I also have this baby Gengar more for its Night Gate ability. Once during your turn, you may switch your active Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon. With this, you can never get stuck in the active spot, and you can also use its attack Nightmare. For 1 dark and 1 colorless energy, it deals 100 damage, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. As for my other attackers, I have a 1-1 line of this Hisuian Samurott V-Star. It has the attack Merciless Blade. For 2 dark energies, it deals 110 plus damage. But if your opponent's active Pokemon already has damage counters on it, this attack will deal 220 damage instead. Since Gengar EX is dealing damage thanks to its ability, Hisuian Samurott's attack will almost always have an increased damage output. But you can also use its V-Star power ability, Moon Cleave Star, which lets you put 4 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon, and this sets up for its attack so that you can increase damage. And finally, I also added 1 copy of this Sableye, more for its attack damage collection. For 2 colorless energy, you may move any number of damage counters from your opponent's bench Pokemon to their active Pokemon. So with all the damage counters dealt by Gengar EX's ability, you may just be able to transfer all of those damage counters to your opponent's active Pokemon. As far as setup goes, I have Buddy Buddy Poffin. This is great for setting up your Ghastlies. And then Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking is also great. You can search for 2 cards from your deck, shuffle the rest of your cards, and then put the 2 cards you chose on top of your deck in any order. After doing this, you can use Bibarel or Mew EX to draw into the cards you put on top of your deck. You can use this to get rare candy or whatever card you need to fully set up your Gengar EX. And that's pretty much all I have for this Gengar build. While many thought this was not going to be good, after playing it with all the energy disruption aspect to the strategy of this build, I have to say that this is actually a really great card. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below. Now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Gengar EX. Alright, on to our first match. Looks like we're going to have to mulligan. Alright, there goes the mulligan. We have Mew, EX, and Ghastly. I will put Mew, EX in the active spot. Ghastly on the bench. And let's see what happens. We have access to 3 energies, which is pretty good. And my opponent will have Squawkabilly EX, Cryptomaniacs, Code Breaking. This is pretty much all I could do. So I'll just have my turn. Since my opponent is going second, I don't know if they have the potential. They might have the potential to attack on their first turn going second. Yeah, this is an ancient type Pokemon build. Sandy Shock's EX with the magnetic absorption ability. And this is a Raging Bolt EX build. They need a fighting and a lightning energy to power up its second attack. And for each energy they discard, it is 70 damage. So I don't know how fast they can build their energies onto their Pokemon, but I think Mew EX should be able to survive this. And Gengar EX could actually be a great disruption. As long as we can transfer those energies to their other Pokemon, we might be able to safely disrupt this guy. Maybe transfer the energy to Squawkabilly EX, unless they have a way to remove it from play, because they've already discarded their Collapsed Stadium. So we'll see. We'll see how my opponent does here. They built up a lot of ancient Pokemon in play. They will use Squawk and Seize to discard their hand, draw 6 on their first turn with Squawkabilly. And then there's Professor Sada's Vitality, being able to accelerate 2 energies to 1 energy for each 2 ancient Pokemon. So with Bellowing Thunder, I think they will be able to knock out our Mew EX. 210 damage. That's crazy. That is crazy. First turn, going second with Raging Bolt EX. Alright, thankfully we got a judge from our top deck. We can definitely shuffle up their hand with 10 cards in it. That's alright. I'll go ahead and use Basic Energy to attach to Gengar EX. Pokestop is a trap, so I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to use Judge here. Both player shuffles their hand into their deck and then draw 4 cards each. I'll go ahead and replace their Pokestop. That could help us slow them down a little bit, because that will increase the energy cost of all of their basic Pokemon by 1 colorless energy. For now, I'm going to use Ultra Ball, sacrifice these 2, and then get myself a Bidoof. Go ahead and do that. And then we are going to attack with Tricky Steps, 160 damage to this Raging Bolt EX. No energies to transfer though, and that's fine. But with no energies, or no way to... Are they gonna flip a coin? Oh, come on! That's not right, man. That's not right. Burst Roar, discard your hand and draw 6 cards. Wow, this is a really powerful card. They can use it to draw and attack. Very self-sufficient Pokemon. Raging Bolt EX is a very strong dragon type Pokemon. No weakness, no resistance. Alright, so my opponent will pass. We got Basic Energy. Dude, that's a lifesaver. That's all we need. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and retreat into Gengar, and we're just gonna continue to attack, knocking out this Raging Bolt EX, getting us 2 prizes. At least now we're even. I don't think my opponent can... oh no, they can... if they set up 1 more Sandy Shocks, they can put a Fighting Energies into play. Then Raging Bolt EX can deal a lot of damage. There's 2 Sandy Shocks EX. They can use Magnetic Absorption now because we have already taken 2 prizes.
So this ability only takes effect if your opponent has 4 or fewer prize cards. So we actually activated it once we've knocked out one of their Raging Bolt EX. Thankfully, we have Pokemon League headquarters, and that helped us out a lot. And that's preventing my opponent from attacking. So what we're going to do is, I'm not going to use Iono because that's going to give my opponent more cards in their hand. So I'm just going to use Tricky Steps, and then I'm going to transfer this energy to their useful, very useful Squawkabilly EX. And that's going to prevent them from attacking. Although, if they're able to build up the attack of this, get rid of our stadium. So if they use Professor Sada's Vitality, they can just discard all of those energies and destroy us. They can destroy us. Oh man, okay. I'll go ahead and set up another Ghastly and one Sableye. And then I can knock out this Raging Bolt EX. Yeah, before my opponent can set up anything, I'll just go ahead and knock it out. We get 2 more prizes and call it a day. Alright, we got Rare Candy, another Iono. So next turn I can safely use Iono because they'll have 4 cards in their hand. And then it's gonna be even when we use Iono. But then our hand will be reduced to 2. That's the only downside to that. They're gonna use Pokemon Catcher to slow us down a little bit, but they got Tails, which is really nice. And they're gonna retreat into Sandy Shock's EX. It can accelerate 1 more energy, but if they have 1 energy to attach, Pokemon League headquarters is still disrupting them, and they will not be able to attack. So yeah, Pokemon League headquarters is actually really great. There's a lot of builds right now. Future type builds and ancient box just are full of basic Pokemon. But my opponent concedes and we win the match. Alright, good game. My opponent wins the coin flip and they have decided to let us go first. So something's fishy about this. They have a future type deck, I am assuming. For now, we're just gonna use Buddy Poffin to get a Bidoof and a Ghastly. Setup is key to this build, and we're going to end our turn. We're gonna preserve our Ultra Ball to get a Bibarel, and then hopefully we can draw into a Rare Candy. And then we can use Neo Upper Energy to accelerate onto our Gengar EX and start attacking this turn. So sure enough, it is a future type build. That wasn't obvious enough with their sleeves and deck box. And they're able to attack on their very first turn with Arm Press. That's crazy. Okay, well, at least they only get 1 prize for that. They weren't able to do Ampyu very much. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. My opponent gets an Iono. Let me discard these 2 to get a Bibarel. And then evolve that. Attach this. And I think I'm gonna draw first before using Iono. Maybe we'll draw into a Rare Candy, but we did not. Another Buddy Poffin, very good. Now we have 4 Ghastly in play. Very dangerous though, because my opponent can use Iron Hands EX to get 2 prizes at a time. We gotta evolve this active for sure. Well, okay. I will take that. So we can actually discard these 2. Go ahead and do that. That's gonna make way for our Dark Patch. We can get a Gengar. And then we can use Rare Candy to evolve our active. And then we can attack. 160 damage to to their Iron Hands EX. And then we can remove that energy card so that they cannot attack on their next turn. They can use what is this? Arm Press. But at least they can't boss and then get one of our Ghastly to get 2 prizes. So at least that prevents that. They are gonna get Techno, Radar, Discard, and Lightning Energy to get Iron Crown EX to increase their damage. What is that called? Cobalt Command. Increases their future Pokemon's attacks by 20 more damage. Okay. Thanks to my Gengar's Gnawing Curse, they attach an energy from their hand to their Iron Hands EX. They receive 2 damage. They're gonna use Iono. That actually helps us out a little bit, because now that gives us access to more cards. Alright, very good. Giovanni's Charisma is actually pretty useful, because that will remove an energy to Iron Hands EX. Possibly. 180 damage. Okay. 180 damage. Ooh, another Buddy Poffin. However, we don't have any more Pokemon in the deck to help us out with that. So I'm gonna put Mew EX in play. That could help us draw. And Giovanni's Charisma can remove this, but I feel like yeah, I could remove that. Because now with the Heavy Baton, they can put 3 basic energy cards to one of their bench Pokemon. So that will reduce the energy cards that they transfer. So we don't have any energy cards to accelerate from our hand to our active. But we did get an Ultra Ball. And I think this could help us out, actually. Let me get rid of Bib Barrel and Buddy Poffin. Or let me just get rid of Nest Ball. Because once or if they knock out our Gengar, we could just thin out our hand by not using up Buddy Poffin once we use it up. I'll go ahead and use Tricky Steps to knock out this Iron Hands EX. And then, ooh, we can transfer energy. Yeah, so that will actually limit the effect of Heavy Baton. They'll only transfer 1 energy to one of their Pokemon. That is crazy. So there you have it, guys. There is a usefulness to this Gengar EX's attack effect. That's pretty crazy. Okay, cool. You know, sometimes when it's not until you play the cards that you actually truly see the full potential of these Pokemon. Again, Knowing Curse will put 2 damage counters or 20 damage to the Pokemon they attach the energy to. And yeah, everything is going really great. They can knock out this guy with Iron Hands EX, but thankfully we got 2 dark patches from our prizes, so now we can accelerate 2 dark energies onto our bench, soon to be Gengar EX. They will use Counter Catcher though to get our Mew EX. That's fine. They'll get 2 prizes, however, no, they're gonna Counter Catcher again. They're just thinning out their hand so they can use Restart, Draw 2. They're just trying to find something that will set up their board more for their favor. That is increasing their attack damage by... Oh, bro, yeah. That's actually a really good move. Amp you very much. With the increased attack, gives them 3 prizes instead of just 2. That's insane. That's actually a pretty good move there, with the 2 Iron Crown EX in play. That's pretty crazy. Alright. Well, we're gonna use Dark Patch to put 2 energies to this Hunter. evolve that into Gengar EX. And then we can attach an energy to this Ghastly. And then we can use Buddy Buddy Poffin, which we won't really be able to use because we don't have any more Pokemon with 70 HP or less. I'll use Restart first before using the Barrel. We got Judge. We could Judge them. Let me go ahead and use Industrious Incisors first to draw. And then we use Judge. So at least we've used up everything we could to see what we could draw into. And Cryptomaniacs, Code Breaking, Pokemon League Headquarters. I mean, this is not really gonna help us because they already have 5 energies on their Iron Hands EX. I'll go ahead and retreat. But if we attack, we can transfer that 1 energy to one of their benched Pokemon. And then if they don't have any energy, they might not be able to attack. They can use Arm Press, but that's it. So I'll go ahead and do that. Just attack for now. 160. And then we're going to transfer 1 energy to that Iron Crown EX. Unless they have Psychic Energy in this build, maybe they will not be able to attack with Iron Crown EX. But slowly but surely, they are stacking up a lot. Oh, they do have a Psychic Energy, so they can actually attack with it. But if we can continue to transfer these energies, spread them out to their Pokemon, they might not be able to attack if they can't find or draw into their energies. Pokegear EX will help them draw into a boss's orders, and they will take a knockout here. Bro, that is crazy. 260 damage. Oh, that's crazy. All right, that's that's a really strong deck. All right, good game. All right, let's get into another match. My opponent won the coin flip, and they let us go first, which I don't really mind. We're gonna start with a Mew EX in the active spot. We got a Nest Ball for our next turn. And they're gonna start with a Radiant Charizard in their active spot. And that tells me that they're not having a really good day. So, with the Nest Ball, I'm gonna go ahead and set up my Ghastly. And then let's see, I can put a basic energy to my Mew EX. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And I'm just gonna end my turn. So my opponent is going second. I don't know exactly what we're going against. Raging Charizard can fit into any deck, especially if it is a Lost Zone engine. I'm guessing any deck that uses up fire energy, you can pretty much put Radiant Charizard in. Alright, they got Buddy Buddy Poffin. Search your deck for 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less. So they have Charmander. So this looks to be a Charizard EX build with a Pidgeot EX. But they're gonna go for Technical Machine Evolution using Pidgey, and they're going to evolve into Charmeleon and end their turn. Alright, so they're sacrificing Pidgey. I'll go ahead and use Neo Upper Energy onto my Ghastly, and then all we have to do is search for a Gengar, and we could take a knockout against this Pidgey. So I'll go ahead and take a chance, use Iono. The downside is I'm giving my opponent some more cards in their hand though. We got a Bidoof, which is great. And we got our Gengar. If I knew, I would have been able, I should have just gotten or evolved this Ghastly into Haunter. I'll go ahead and use Ultra Ball, get rid of this Gengar and this basic energy. And what I'm gonna do is actually just get Hisuian Samurott V, and then I can use Dark Patch to accelerate this dark energy onto Samurott, and then I can use Restart to draw 2 more cards. And we got a Giovanni's Charisma. Look at that. So my opponent can actually evolve into Charizard next turn. We haven't taken any prizes yet, so I could just retreat into Hisuian Samurott, and then what I could use is Basket Crash, and then I could discard their tool card. Wait a minute. Discard up to 2 Pokemon tool card from your opponent's Pokemon. Come on, I need to know why. I think the ability of Charmeleon prevents me from taking effect onto it. Or the attack of our effect is useless. Yeah, prevent all effects of attacks used to your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon. So, Basket Crash was an effect of an attack. So, it couldn't take effect. We couldn't discard that tool card from this Charizard EX. So now they're able to evolve fully, they can attack, but since we haven't taken any prize card, they're only hitting for our 180 damage. Pidgeotto will soon become Pidgeot EX. And we can slow them down a little bit actually. 180 damage. I'm gonna put Manaphy into play just so I can thin out my hand, and then I can use Restart ability using Mew EX. And then I can use Samurott V-Star, evolve this, and then 220 plus 4, 260. Can use Giovanni's Charisma to remove one of their energies, put that into their hand, and then I can accelerate this to my Hisuian Samurott V-Star. Then I can use Restart to draw 3. Buddy Coffin. And get Ghastly. Okay. And then I'm going to use Moon Cleave Star V-Star ability to put damage to Charizard EX. I'm just gonna weaken it as much as I can, and then use Merciless Blade to deal 220 damage. It has 70 HP left. We just need to evolve into our Gengar EX. So what I could do next turn, hopefully we draw into something that I could just burn and not be able to use. So I can use Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking, and then get Rare Candy and a Gengar EX to finish off this Charizard EX. And with a high HP Gengar EX, we should be able to survive a few attacks from my opponent's Charizard EX. But they didn't attach an energy for some reason. We got a Rare Candy. So what I could do is actually use Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking, and then I can get a Bibarel so I can evolve and then get Gengar next to it. Right? So now I can use Restart to draw into Bibarel, and then I can use Bibarel to draw into Gengar. Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking is insane! Alright, cool. Well, now we have a Rare Candy. We can evolve at least one Gengar EX. That is crazy. That is actually pretty crazy. And then what I could do is evolve or power up Mew EX. Because late game, I can actually copy one of my opponent's attacks and be able to knock them out if we need to. We are in danger a little bit here. But we're gonna lose 2 prizes, right? We can knock out this Charizard EX, but that's fine. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and use Merciless Blade to knock out this Charizard EX. That's gonna get us 2 prizes. Very nice. We got 1 baby Gengar from our prizes. But our setup is actually pretty good. We've had to make some sacrifices, but at least we've been able to set up really nicely. Very, very nice. Okay. So my plan here actually is to disrupt my opponent's Charizard EX if they end up evolving into Pidgeot EX. We can, or if they evolve into Charizard EX, we can just keep transferring those energies onto Pidgeot EX. So at least the attack damage output will be less, and then they won't be able to energize their Charizard EX, maybe, in the long run. So they're gonna use TM Evolution again to evolve into their Charmeleon. And slowly, I'm going to energize this Ghastly. And then I can actually use Boss's orders to target that Charmeleon on their bench so that they cannot evolve into a Charizard EX. I'm gonna draw one more card with Bibarel because I don't want to discard a lot of these cards, to be honest with you. I already have 1 Gengar EX in the discard pile. Let me go ahead and secure the knockout on this guy. And then I might have to sacrifice the baby Gengar so that I can preserve this last Gengar EX in my hand and get a Haunter to slowly evolve this Ghastly. And then I can use Restart at this point. Draw 2 more cards. And we got an Iono. Alright, cool. So with that, let me go ahead and retreat my Hisuian Samurott V-Star. That way I can prevent my opponent from getting any more prizes, or any prizes at all, for that matter. So we got a knockout there against their Charmeleon. We got an Ultra Ball. You can evolve into Gengar EX, and that will multiply the Gnawing Curse ability. And each time they attach an energy from their hand to their Pokemon, it's gonna deal 2 for each of our Gengar EX in play. They have a lot of TM Evolution in this deck. That's their 3rd one. They're going to get Boss's orders to attack our Hisuian Samurott. Now I regret discarding the baby Gengar, because now we can't... Alright, they're gonna evolve into Pidgeot EX. They sacrificed that for a Pidgeot EX. Let's see. I feel like I can just recover this Gengar so I can retreat. Right, I don't have a lot of switching options in this build, so we'll go ahead and use Iono. Draw 3, and then my opponent draws 6. Put this energy here. Or I can put it on Hisuian Samurott. And then what I could do is use Restart first. Another Ghastly. And Industrious Incisors for 2. That didn't help. Alright, well, I'm going to end my turn here. My Hisuian Samurott V-Star is in danger. But if they don't take it out, we can continue to attack with it at least. And what becomes a danger is if my opponent evolves into Charizard EX, they can take easy knockouts from that point on. But the plan is to transfer their energies onto this Pidgeot EX so that they cannot attack. And hopefully that will slow them down a lot. So, so that's the plan. Let's see how many... They haven't used up any rare candies yet. They really focus heavily on the TM Evolution tool card to evolve their Pokemon. I mean, I get it, because the TM Devolution is a counter to Charizard EX. When you're focused so much on using rare candies, you can just devolve all of their Charizard EX, and then if your opponent cannot evolve anymore, that pretty much loses the momentum and they cannot attack with Charizard EX if they can't evolve it, right? With 2 energies on their Radiant Charizard, they are able to attack because of its Excited Heart ability, reducing its attack cost, and they were able to take a knockout. I'll put Mew EX in the active spot. It's a great pivot because it has free retreats, and we can take a knockout against this Radiant Charizard as well. Sableye is really great to transfer those damage counters, but it's been actually really easy for us to knock out my opponent's Pokemon, so we haven't had to use that. I'll go ahead and just burn this Buddy Buddy Poffin. I will not draw into or set up any more basic Pokemon from the deck, and then what I could do is put this Ghastly into play, use Dark Patch to put on this Ghastly, and attach an energy to this Ghastly. I can draw 1 with Mew EX, another energy, and then draw 2 with Industrious Incisors. Got an Iono. I could use that. And then if we can get Super Rod, I would really like to recover my baby Gengar. But as of right now, we can't really do that, so I'll just go ahead and retreat. Use Tricky Steps to knock out their Radiant Charizard, and I will just put that to this Pidgey. So without any energy except for 2 in their discard pile, maybe that's gonna limit my opponent from energizing any Charizard EX. I mean, any builds has at least 6 or 7. At least that's the common energy count for Charizard EX builds. Alright, there's the rare candy, Charizard EX, and they're dealing a knockout blow against our Gengar EX. So at this point, we've taken already 4 prizes, and that's increasing their attack damage even further. 30 damage for each prize cards that your opponent has already taken. So that's 300 damage. They might be short 10 damage though, right? But we'll see. Burning Darkness, 300 damage, yeah. That's crazy. That's actually pretty awesome. Pokemon League headquarters could work against us if we use Mew EX, so I will actually just leave that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use Judge, because we can draw more cards with Judge. Or no, I can actually draw more with Iono, so I'll do that. Because now we can use Mew EX and then do Barrel as well. Ooh, we can evolve. But I actually want to evolve into the baby one. Do we? No, we don't. We don't really need to. Because at this point, we've already taken out the Hisuian Samurott EX, so we should be fine. Go ahead and use Restart ability first. So I don't want to get too fixated in recovering that baby Gengar, because we should be okay at this point. And then let's go ahead and disrupt my opponent by using Tricky Steps, dealing 160 damage to their Charizard EX. Transfer this energy to this Pidgey and call it a day. They can attack with this too, that's fine. But then we can take out this Charizard EX. So once they attach an energy, that's going to deal 2 damage counters, or actually 4 damage counters. Then we can take it out with another Gengar EX. They will evolve into another Charizard EX, They can accelerate energy, and this guy doesn't have to take damage. Yeah. All right. Good move, I guess. But if we can power up Mew EX, we can actually just knock out this Charizard EX because we're copying its attack and we're increasing our damage output as well. 300 damage, okay. So, yeah, I think we have this. As long as we have one more energy in the deck, we should be fine. We have Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking. Super Rod, bro, that's what I needed this whole time. Okay, Baby Gengar. Not that I needed, but okay. Baby Gengar, we finally were able to recover that. Alright, Sableye, great. And then... what do we need here? We can take a knockout, we just need an energy, right? We just need an energy. 170 damage. Yeah, I think Mew EX is going to have to win this one. Yeah. Basic energy is all we need. We can draw into those 2 cards. And then... yeah, that's all we need. That's all we need. Basic energy on Mew EX, and we can deal a lot of damage to knock out this Charizard EX for the win. Genome hacking. We will copy Burning Darkness to deal 300 damage to knock out their Charizard EX for the win. Wow, good game. And that's it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching the Popsicleknight channel, and until next time, please stay safe and have a great day.